rolling up to Joaquin Buckley versus Albert Duraev. And this might be the day of the underdogs for me because, and I know you guys are probably going to disagree with me here, but it's hard for me to pick against Joaquin Buckley. I think he's just so exciting. He's really good on his feet. This won't be a parlay pick either because, this could easily go Duraev's way. But, I think he's plus 200 for Joaquin Buckley. Plus 170. All right. Still, that's a great line right there. He's so creative. I absolutely love that about him. You can't forget the spinning back kick against, I believe it was Impa.
Impa Kasangana, yeah. Amazing.
Yeah, that was like an all-time highlight. If you ever want to get people into MMA, that's definitely a clip you should show him. He can be a little bit chinny at times. He's been knocked out. He got knocked out by Kevin Holland 2 years ago, I think. He does seem to be steadily improving, though. His confidence is absolutely through the roof right now. He challenged Darren Till to a fight backstage at like UFC 273, I think, after Khamzat fought Gil Burns. And so just, because
that's when Darren Till had no idea who he was.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'll fight you. Oh, yeah, I have no idea who that was.
Yeah, neither did Khamzat. They might have been playing that up a little bit because I feel like everybody that's into this sport has seen that spinning back kick. But
Joaquin probably didn't know who Darren Till was. I love Darren Till, but he's got his face is tripled in size lately. You're like, oh, what are you? Are you Darren Till's fat cousin or something? Who are you?
Yeah. And he hasn't been in the limelight as often really recently as he used to be.
Not at all.
There was a time where Darren Till was that dude. He's definitely started to fizzle
out. After he got knocked out in his his home country, kind of went down the tubes after that.
Yeah, by George. That was tough. But and now it's like he's almost just riding Khamzat's coattails a little bit, latching onto this guy. Yeah, we're best friends now. But
I'd latch onto those coattails too. It's not a bad career move.
No, not at all. I like the friendship. It is nice. But I think I'm gonna go with Joaquin Buckley here, and it's mainly because of the creativity for me. I think he's got a lot of power in his hands. He's so good on his feet. He has a lengthy UFC resume too. He's got a lot of experience in the UFC octagon. Duraev, his second fight in the UFC. So, there still remains to be a little bit seen. What did he fight in the Russian regional scene beforehand? So
M1 challenge. Yeah.
Yeah. Nobody on his resume really stood out to me. And finally, I absolutely hate Duraev's Tapology picture. If you click on his profile, it's him standing in front of a Mercedes, and
looks like he's going to sell you crypto or something,
Yeah, he looks like your typical Miami,
he looks like he's got I got a multi-platform, thingamajig for you.
Yeah, exactly.
I want to drive a Mercedes. Yeah, he looks very strange. Everybody should go check that out. What Keith is talking about. It's so funny.
Yeah, exactly. So, look at that if you haven't seen it on Tapology. It's a pretty funny picture. But, so I'm going with Joaquin Buckley here for all those reasons. What do you think about that one, Tom?
Yeah, this one's a really tough fight because I think Albert Duraev, I think some of his opponents had really questionable records, padded with that boxing style of 0-1, 1-1, 3-1 guys, for you to run through and have a better record than maybe your abilities can handle, right? But I think Joaquin Buckley is not a terrible grappler in his own right. I think he is very good at defending takedowns. I think he has a really creative fighting style. I think he throws shots from a lot of different angles, and he has a lot of power in his shots. And a lot of times, Albert Duraev will end up striking with you when maybe he should try and take you down and control you on the ground. There's a lot of times where we see, for whatever reason, grapplers that have a little bit of success striking, they just go to striking and they forget what their base is in grappling. And I think Albert Duraev can do that a little bit. I don't think his striking is on par where it needs to be in order to kind of get lost in striking. The last fight against Roman Kopylov, it was a very good fight. Don't get me wrong, but I'm not totally sold on Roman and his opponent. So to see Albert Duraev go that distance with him, I think it was finished in the end of the third round or something like that. Or no, it went to a decision. It was very close to being ended, I think, at the end of the second. But either way, I I'm gonna lean Joaquin Buckley. I think Albert Duraev is gonna not rely on the grappling as much as he should. I think he potentially could have an issue with getting Buckley to the ground, and I think that's all gonna be, Buckley, if he lands, it's not going to be like Roman Kopylov landing. It's going to be Joaquin Buckley landing, the guy who, is basically a real life ninja. So, Patrick, what are your thoughts?
Is this a super lock? I'm right there with you guys. Underdog shot on Joaquin Buckley for sure. Plus 175 underdog. I'm not impressed with Albert Duraev at all. I watched a lot of his stuff in M1 Challenge. He's got a good set of skills, but he was never really tested with a lot of, good creative strikers the way Joaquin Buckley is. Guys who also have the strength that Joaquin Buckley has. Guys like Joaquin Buckley doesn't have terrible cardio either. And he has that power early. He's got that power late. So a lot of first round, second round. He also was the one over Antonio Arroyo, I believe, where it was round 3. Yeah. He finally got the chance to go the KO blow and finally, was able to do it in round 3. Not a lot of guys can do that that are explosive like Joaquin Buckley. I like his cardio, but more so Albert Duraev just does not deserve to be this big of a favorite. 2-1. If you watch his fight against Roman Kopylov, his only UFC fight from UFC 267, atrocious. I mean, he starts off okay, but Roman Kopylov is not a good fighter. He's not been great. He's got a chance to turn things around and win us over, but so far he's been pretty bad. And he was about to beat Albert Duraev. He made it very close. Eventually, in the so fatigued was Albert Duraev that he was getting taken down himself. He was getting outstruck in the feet. Even when he was in round 1, Albert Duraev's striking defense is so atrocious at times. He'll get countered by Joaquin Buckley all day. I really think this is a great underdog price on Joaquin Buckley. I wouldn't be surprised if more money comes in on Joaquin Buckley, but maybe people are thinking that Russian E last name, and that's inflating this price tag. I just don't see it. You've got the UFC experience for Joaquin Buckley. 10 of his 18 fights have ended in KO. He's got finishing potential. We just finally saw him actually have to go into deep waters against Abdulrazak Al-Hassan, actually have to wrestle and strike for 3 rounds in a grueling fight. He was able to work through fatigue. It didn't look pretty, but he was able to do that. And I thought he deserved to win that decision unanimously. One judge disagreed. It is what it is, but it looked a lot better than Albert Duraev's, decision win. That easily could have slipped right through his fingers in his debut. So Joaquin Buckley never been submitted before. Not that he can't be, but he just seems so physically strong that I think by the time Duraev has to muscle him around the cage for 1 or 2 rounds, if he survives, he's going to be dead in round 3 the way he was against Roman Kopylov in October. So I'm very, very confident in Joaquin Buckley here. He's got the skills to get this done. 28 years old, the better measurables as far as reach goes. The only time that Joaquin Buckley's actually been really challenged lately by a grapple-heavy opponent was Logan Storley in Bellator, who's the current champion. So besides that, he's fought a lot of strikers that have been able to give him those exciting highlight reel fights. This will be something new for him, but I think the Abdulrazak Al-Hassan was a bit of a test of his cardio grappling-wise at least. So I've got pretty good confidence in this underdog.
Nice. All right, super lock. We'd love to see it. Finally.
Finally, about time.
Yeah. Well, I think on this